was victory by a landslide on Election Day this November for one HLGU professor. Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of your HLGU News Update. I'm Jill Alexander. Associate English Professor Louis Riggs was elected to represent District 5 in the Missouri House of Representatives. Riggs gained over 70% of the votes on Election Day, beating out Democratic challenger Joe Freese. Riggs says his platform includes increasing broadband internet access as well as providing homes for military veterans. The Missouri House of Representatives begins their work on January 9th. NBC's The Today Show was recently on campus to cover a milestone birthday for a few of HLGU's most notable students. The McCoy septuplets turned 21 on November 19th, but as college students, they say their lives are really no different than anyone else's. Here's more on that story. From the cover of Time magazine to the Oprah Winfrey Show to countless articles and TV interviews, the McCoy septuplets have been making headlines since before they were born. The title of the world's first set of surviving septuplets brought fame to the Iowa family. But now the seven are all following their own path, proving that being born at the same time doesn't mean they're the same people. 5 of the septuplets are students at Hannibal-LaGrange University, and they say the college experience and wise words from their parents have helped them prepare to follow their own path.
One thing that my parents really tried to kind of ingrain in our minds is to be independent, to make sure that they raised us to one day live on our own.
It's definitely made me a lot more independent, and it's been pretty fun.
Media attention has followed the family as the children age, as the world wants to know, where are the McCoys now? But as the students continue their time at HLGU, they say the attention has drastically faded.
The first couple weeks that we were here, there was a lot of people that would come up to us at the college and were just so amazed that we were septuplets, and so I think it changed that there was more people who would come up to us like that, but then now it's just normal. We aren't viewed as any different than anybody else.
The McCoys may have spent their childhood in the spotlight, but they say as college students, they're glad to just blend in with the crowd.
We're just normal college students. I don't think anybody thinks, oh, we're the McCoys. I just think that they look at us like normal people.
Do you like that?
I do like that.
Just like Alexa said, just look at us just as another college student here.
The McCoys most recently attracted media attention with their 21st birthday on November 19th. The event was celebrated with a root beer party on campus and an interview with NBC's Today Show. To see the McCoy siblings' birthday party interview, go to today.com. The Spring Musical was recently announced at a reveal event held in the Student Center. The Spring Musical will be Little Women, based on the classic novel by Louisa May Alcott, focusing on the lives of the 4 March sisters. Director of theater Sabrina Brookshire says this will be a heartwarming show.
And the musical is so fun. The songs are just very character-driven. They're exciting, definitely loving and heartfelt, and so it's just a very warm story that I think people will really enjoy, even if they don't know the music coming into the play.
Auditions for the musical take place on January 14th and 15th. Show dates will be April 11th through the 13th in the Rowland Fine Arts Center. That's it for news. Now let's go to Kelsey McCoy and the Mabee Sports Complex with an update from the HLGU athletic teams.
Thanks, Jill. There's a lot going on in the athletic department. Let's start with some exciting news from women's cross country. The Hannibal-LaGrange University women's cross country team had one individual qualify for NAIA Cross Country National Championship. Shelby Callum qualified by placing 5th at the AMC Cross Country Championship. Callum recently traveled to Cedar Rapids, Iowa to compete in nationals. At nationals, she ended up finishing in the 123rd spot. Callum is a sophomore nursing major at HLGU. She is also a student ambassador. For more information about Callum, you can check out our Champions of Character story about her on our YouTube page. Well, there is another runner at HLGU who is excelling at his sport while also sharing the gospel with others. Senior Bible major Michael Casebolt is a hurdler on the HLGU track team, but is also someone who is a champion of character. Here's more on that story.
From the church, to the classroom, to the track, HLGU student athlete Michael Casebolt is busy on and off the track sharing the gospel with others and being a champion of character.
An average day would be waking up barely on time for class, usually lightly jogging there, maybe sprinting, or if I really don't care for the day, I'll walk. And I get to class. Then if I have some downtime, I'll usually try and get a game of Fortnite in. Go to lunch, go to practice, maybe do some hurdling before practice. Practice around 4 o'clock. And then usually I have a night class or jail ministry or church or lobby duty.
Casebolt is a senior Bible major who is involved in many things on and off campus. Casebolt is a hurdler on the track team while also being a resident assistant here at the university. Casebolt says that he puts Christ at the center of everything he does.
Being a champion's of character out in the classroom and church, wherever I'm at on the track, is about looking and being intentional with how can I be more like Christ? How can me be more like Christ lead others to him?
With his love for ministry, Casebolt is involved in lots of missions work.
Involved in Prince Avenue Baptist Church, doing an internship there, and then also doing some jail ministry on the side.
Not only does he love serving off campus, but he loves competing on campus as well. Loving and serving his teammates is something that Casebolt says he loves doing.
I love it. I love to compete. I love to get out there and work hard, but I also recognize that after this year, I'm not going to be a track athlete anymore. I am going to be done. But how I represent myself, or represent Christ on the track, and how I build relationships with my teammates is what's going to matter. Those things will be eternal.
Casebolt's last track season is underway and will go through the month of May. Along with the closing of the season, Casebolt will also be graduating with a degree in Christian Studies.
Turning now to basketball, the men and women's seasons are underway. The Hannibal-LaGrange University men's basketball team opened up conference play against Central Baptist College. In that game, it was the Mustangs who came out on top with a score of 88-78. Central Baptist jumped out at the start of the game with an early 5-0 lead as they worked at a fast pace. HLGU sophomore Brady Smith then became hot, scoring 14 straight points for the Trojans. Foul trouble became an issue as 53 fouls were called in the game for both teams. Each team shot a little over 79% from the free throw line, but CBC had 10 more attempts. HLGU senior Clay Tebow says the team did well, but needs to have faith in their offense.
Like I said, defensively, I think we did well. We just got to box out and finish possessions. And then offensively, we got to trust in our stuff and run it and not get out of sorts as much.
The game ended up being a good one for sophomore Brady Smith. He ended up playing all but about a minute of the game and scored a total of 45 points. The men will be back at home to play during Christmas break. They will play Culver Stockton College on Tuesday, December 11th at 7:30. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page to watch a Champions of Character story on HLGU basketball player Grant Peters. Moving now to the women's team, the Trojan ladies also faced Central Baptist College in conference play. During the whiteout game, the ladies lost to the Mustangs with a score of 87-49. The Mustangs were able to capitalize on their points off turnovers and second chance points to help them maintain their lead. Sophomore Emma Anderson says the main thing that the Lady Trojans need to focus on is having a stronger start.
Improving from this game, we just come out with a fresh mindset. No matter what we think they may be like, no matter what we've heard about them, we need to come out with a strong start.
Well, you just heard from Emma Anderson in that previous story, but what you may not know about her is that in addition to being on the women's basketball team, Emma is also a part of our TNN team. She is someone who is always shooting video, writing stories, and editing those stories together. She is someone who takes the responsibility of being both a student and an athlete quite seriously. With another Champions of Character segment, here's Cami Fiedler to tell us more.
From the basketball court to the classroom, Champion of Character Emma Anderson juggles many responsibilities. Anderson says being a student athlete requires time management and leadership skills.
Being a student athlete, I've always had to learn how to juggle. So time management, for every athlete, they'll tell you it can be difficult at times. So learning how to take responsibility not only on the court, because obviously you want to do well in your sport, but taking responsibility for your actions in the classroom, making sure that you really commit and you're dedicated to getting those studies done.
Along with her love for basketball, Anderson also has a love for the Communication Studies department here at HLGU. Anderson says being people-focused in her department also helps her on the basketball court.
So one thing about our department is what we do, like in the real world, is we focus on people. Like you build those relationships and it's people-based. And I think that's something that working in this department, you can definitely see that that's what we're all about. Like, it's not just about getting the equipment, getting the story, but it's the people that are involved in those stories that really matter. It goes the same for basketball, as in you're not there to just get the job done, go through the drills, go through the motions. Those people that you have beside you, like your teammates, they're the ones that make it all count anyway.
As a sophomore, Anderson can write, shoot, and edit all of her own work. In fact, a lot of times she edits many of the stories you see in our newscast.
I think we get something really special is that we're naturally involved in a lot of things because we have to cover stories. And so you're naturally going to be at those games, you're going to be at those events because you're there to get the story.
Anderson plans to continue what she is doing both on and off the court. Earlier this year in St. Louis, Anderson represented HLGU at the AMC Leadership Summit. Reporting for TNN, I'm Cammie Fiedler.
For more Champions of Character stories, you can check out our YouTube page or the HLGU Athletic website. That's all the time we have for sports. Let's send it back over to Jill Alexander.
Thanks, Kelsey. And finally, we leave you with a story about a group of guys who are raising money for missions by growing beards. HLGU's Beard Off is in its final stretch as November comes to an end. The Beard Off is a fundraiser to help support missions. There are only 6 competitors who still remain: Coach Haas, Blake Harding, Pete Orzel, Mr. Hall, Tim Fenton, and Kevin Morrison. The competition ends at the end of this month. So far, the Beard Off has raised $1,357 for missions. Thanks so much for joining us on this last edition of your HLGU News Update for the fall semester. I'm Jill Alexander, and from all of us here at TNN, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.